You know.
Hello, I can see you as well. All right. Well, thank you so much. My name is Savannah. I am a dietitian here with RPM Logix. Today we are doing a webinar, so we will get right into that. It's dealing with immunity and how to keep your immune system healthy throughout any time. So I'm going to share. I'm sorry, go ahead, Abigail.
Yeah. Just before we get started, I just want to remind everyone, well, if you are here, it means that you're one of our patients. You are part of RPM Logix, and Logix is partnered with your physicians, and we are here to provide different services to you. We want to be here to educate, to coach, and to motivate everyone to live healthier lives. So, because you're members of the program, you get access to our nurses, the registered dietitians, and diabetes educators. So, if you're currently not working with one of us one-on-one, you can let us know and we will be more than happy to connect you. You can just send us an email or give us a call. The email that you can use is the same one that you got the invitation to this webinar. So it's success@rpmlogics.com. And you can just send us an email and say, hey, I'm interested with working with a dietitian one-on-one or a nurse. We are here more than anything to provide guidance, then also ideas, tips, and then also accountability. So we will be more than happy to start working with any of you if you need to connect with one of our providers, dietitians or nurses. And then, well, just like Savannah was saying, the webinar today is very interesting. We will be talking about the immune system, and this webinar will be for about 30 minutes. And then at the end of the throughout the presentation, you can send your questions. So you can just click on the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. You can click there, type your questions, and then at the end, I will read those questions to Savannah and we will answer them. You can wait until the end or through the presentation as we're going, and at the end we will answer all of the questions. And just like Savannah is also one of our dietitians, so we are very happy that you are here. And let's get to the more interesting information, the thing that you came to hear.
All right. Thank you so much, Abigail. I'm trying to share my screen. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. All right. Can everybody see this okay?
Yes, we can see it now. Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is all about how to boost our immune system. First, we're going to talk about what the immune system is composed of. Then we're going to talk about things that affect the immune system, things that depress the immune system, and then certain things that we can add into our diet to promote a healthier immune system. So, what is the immune system? It is a complex network of cells, tissues, organs, and proteins that protect the body from disease, causing germs, harmful substances, and cell changes. It also protects the body from its own cells. The immune system has many parts, including white blood cells, also known as leukocytes. These cells originate in the bone marrow and migrate into the bloodstream. Then you have antibodies, which are Y-shaped proteins that bind to specific antigens. Antibodies can be found in the blood, mucus, saliva, and in breast milk. You have the skin, which helps prevent germs from entering the body. You have mucous membranes, which are the moist inner linings of organs and body cavities. And then you have the lymph system, which also makes up the immune system. It is a fluid that travels from blood into tissues and collects pathogens and debris. This includes the thymus, spleen, tonsils, lymph nodes, lymph vessels, and bone marrow. All right. There's different kinds of immunity. First, there is innate immunity, and then there is adaptive or acquired immunity. So, we're going to go over what both kinds of immunity are. Innate immunity is a first line defense from pathogens that try to enter our bodies, achieved through protective barriers. These barriers include skin that keeps out the majority of pathogens, mucus that traps pathogens, stomach acid that destroys pathogens, enzymes in our sweat and tears that create antibacterial compounds, and immune system cells that attack all foreign cells entering the body. All right, then we have our adaptive or acquired immunity. This is a system that learns to recognize a pathogen. It is regulated by cells and organs in our body, like the spleen, thymus, bone marrow, and lymph nodes. When a foreign substance enters the body, these cells and organs create antibodies and lead to multiplication of immune cells, including different types of white blood cells that are specific to that harmful substance and attack and destroy it. Our immune system then adapts by remembering the foreign substance so that if it enters again, these antibodies and cells are even more efficient and quick to destroy it. So that's the difference between innate immunity and then adaptive or acquired immunity. Okay, what does the immune system do? Just in very basic terms, it keeps invaders out of the body. It destroys invaders. It limits the harm invaders can cause inside of the body. It heals damage to the body, and it adapts to new threats and challenges. All right, there are some things that will trigger an immune response, and I've included some of those here. Some conditions that can trigger an immune response include antigens, which are substances that the body labels as foreign and harmful, which trigger immune cell activity. Allergens are a type of antigen. Then inflammation can trigger an immune response. Inflammation is a normal, important step in the body's innate immune response. When pathogens attack healthy cells and tissue, an immune cell called mast cells counterattack and release proteins called histamines, which cause inflammation. Prolonged inflammation may overwhelm the immune system. Autoimmune disorders like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, or type 1 diabetes are hereditary and cause hypersensitivity when immune cells attack and destroy healthy cells. So, autoimmune disorders are another condition that can trigger an immune response, as are immunodeficiency orders, which can depress or disable the immune system and includes conditions like AIDS, leukemia, or multiple myeloma. In these cases, the body's defenses are so reduced that a person becomes highly susceptible to illness from invading pathogens or antigens. All right, let's talk about factors that can depress our immune system. One factor is older age. Our internal organs can become less efficient. This may also be associated with micronutrient deficiencies, which can worsen our immune function. Later on, we're going to talk about foods that we can include to avoid micronutrient deficiencies, which are good for our immune system. Environmental toxins like smoke, air pollution, and alcohol can affect our immune system. Excess weight is associated with low-grade chronic inflammation. Poor diet, so malnutrition or a diet lacking in one or more nutrients can impair the production and activity of immune cells and antibodies. Again, we're going to get into what those are and things that we can include in order to address that. Chronic disease can affect or depress the immune system. So, autoimmune and immunodeficiency disorders attack and potentially disable immune cells. Chronic mental stress can release cortisol, which is a stress hormone that suppresses inflammation and the action of white blood cells. Finally, lack of sleep and rest. So, rest is restoration for the entire body. Too little sleep lowers our cytokines, which are needed to fight infection. So, these are all things that can depress our immune system. What are the basics of improving our immunity? First off, not smoking, as this does depress our immunity quite a bit. Eating a diet rich in fruit and vegetables. It's recommended to get a minimum of 5 servings of vegetables and fruits each day, with a minimum being about a cup. We'll go into specific fruits and vegetables to include in our diet in a little bit to help increase our immune system. Exercising regularly. So it's recommended to get a minimum of 150 minutes a week of physical activity, with 3 days out of that time also including strength training. So to improve your immunity, I recommend trying to meet those minimum recommendations. You want to maintain a healthy weight. You can work with your doctor or registered dietitian to talk about what a healthy weight is for you. Drink alcohol in moderation if you do drink. This is not saying to start drinking if you don't already, but if you do, drink so in moderation. Moderation for women is 1 drink per day. Moderation for men is no more than 2 drinks per day. Make sure to get adequate sleep. So I believe the new guidelines say 7 to 9 hours of sleep is recommended for us to be fully rested. Make sure to wash your hands and cook meats thoroughly to avoid infection. Minimize stress. Keep current with all recommended vaccines to help fight off infections before they take hold in the body. All right, immunity and diet. There is some evidence that micronutrient deficiencies, such as in zinc, selenium, iron, copper, folic acids, vitamins A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin E, and protein can all alter cellular immune responses. So these are all important components then to include to improve our cellular responses. All right. First, we have zinc. Zinc helps our immune system and metabolism function. Food sources of zinc include chicken, lean beef, like the round or loin cut, lentils, cashews, legumes such as lentils, chickpeas, edamame, beans, almonds, eggs, seafood, tofu, chickpea, yogurt, and oatmeal. So these are all good sources of zinc. And again, zinc helps our immune system and metabolism function. What I've included in all of these nutrient pages is the RDA, which is the recommended dietary allowance. So this is what the recommended servings are for us each day. And after all of these nutrients that we're going over, I've also included the milligram amount in serving that each of these foods has. So you can kind of see if you're getting the recommended amounts. All right, next we have selenium. Selenium is a group of selenoproteins, which are enzymes and proteins that help with DNA synthesis, thyroid hormone metabolism, reproduction, and protecting against infections and oxidative damage. Food sources of selenium are Brazil nuts, tuna, oatmeal. With oatmeal, I do recommend going for the whole rolled oats or steel cut oats, as these are the whole grain version. You can find selenium in spinach, milk, yogurt, lentils, eggs, and lean beef. Again, like the loin or the round cut. The RDA for selenium is 55 micrograms a day for men and women. And then here are selenium food sources. All right, another nutrient of concern when it comes to our immune system is copper. Copper helps maintain the immune system and is a component of superoxide dismutase, which is an antioxidant enzyme that fights harmful oxygen radicals. So, radicals and oxygenation reactions are not good for our body. So that's why antioxidants, which fight against the oxygen reactions, are so beneficial for our immune system. Food sources of copper include green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, mustard, and collard greens, arugula, bok choy, etc. Whole grains, a list of whole grains for those of you that don't really know what whole grains are. They include whole grain or whole wheat bread, brown or black rice, whole wheat noodles or lentil or chickpea noodles, whole rolled oats or steel cut oats, quinoa. Then you've got farro, bulgur, and millet as well. Other sources of copper are beans, nuts, potatoes, oysters, shellfish, cocoa, oats again, and quinoa again. And the RDA for copper is 900 micrograms a day for men and women adults. And then here is our food list. All right. Another nutrient of concern when increasing our immune system is folic acid. Folic acid contributes to rapidly regenerating cells like red blood cells and immune cells to help with overall health and strengthening our immune system. Folic acid also helps to reduce the risk of infection. Foods with folic acid include asparagus, avocado, spinach, citrus fruits like lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, tangerines, eggs, and in Brussels sprouts. The RDA for folic acid for teens and adults is 400 micrograms. This goes up with women who are pregnant. They need about 600 micrograms a day, and breastfeeding women need about 500 micrograms of folic acid each day. And then here are folic acid sources in the microgram amounts. All right. Vitamin A. Vitamin A helps the immune system through cell development, immune cell activity, epithelial cell function, and skin and mucosal cell integrity. Vitamin A increases the action of immune system cells. Food sources of vitamin A are your green leafy vegetables. Again, these are spinach, kale, collard or mustard greens, arugula or bok choy. Then, whenever you think of vitamin A, think of colorful foods. So, a lot of like your red, yellow, orange fruits and vegetables. They include sweet potatoes, carrots, winter squash, mango, apricot, cantaloupe, but it's also in broccoli as well. So you can find vitamin A in some of your greens and then in your red, orange, and yellow fruits and vegetables. The RDA for vitamin A is 900 micrograms for men, 700 micrograms for women. There is a tolerable upper limit of 3,000 micrograms a day. This is mostly an issue if you're supplementing. So I don't recommend supplementing with any of these components that I'm going over. I do recommend trying to get these components through eating a whole foods diet. So increasing your vegetable and fruit intake from some of the lists that we're going over. Vitamin A, when you supplement with it, it can get to be in toxic amounts over time. So just something to be aware of there. Vitamin A food sources are listed here. All right. Next, we have vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 helps the immune system through antibody production, white blood cell production, reducing inflammation, assisting chemical reactions in the immune system, and it may assist with allergies. Foods with vitamin B6 include bananas, salmon, avocado, chickpeas, potatoes, spinach, tuna, chicken, pork, some fish, and oats. The RDA for vitamin B6, if you are between 10 to 50 years old, it's 1.3 milligrams per day. And if you are over 50, it's 1.7 milligrams per day. And then here are the vitamin B6 foods in the milligram amounts, so you can see if you are meeting the RDA. All right, next we have vitamin C. Vitamin C helps the immune system as an antioxidant. It helps B cells differentiate, which fight viruses and bacteria via antibodies. It helps with collagen absorption, iron absorption, cytokine production, and helps with epithelial barrier function. Vitamin C has been found to be involved in antimicrobial and natural killer cell activities, lymphocyte proliferation, and chemotaxis, which is the movement of cells or organisms in response to chemical gradients. Vitamin C foods include bell peppers, kiwi, broccoli, strawberries, Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, guava, kale, papaya, citrus fruits like your lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, tangerines, clementines, potatoes, cabbage, leafy green vegetables again, and mango. The RDA for vitamin C, adult men is 90 milligrams, adult women is 75 milligrams. Pregnant women need more at 120 milligrams. Lactating women need 85 milligrams, which is also a little bit more than the typical RDA. Smokers actually need 35 milligrams more than whatever your RDA is. The reason for that is smoking actually makes it difficult for vitamin C to absorb. So if you do smoke, you're going to need 35 milligrams more than the RDA. Here's your vitamin C foods with the milligrams listed so you can see if you're meeting the recommended RDA. All right, next we have vitamin D. Vitamin D helps the immune system by activating T cells, which detect and destroy foreign pathogens like viruses, regulates the immune system, reduces inflammation, promotes production of endogenous antibiotics, may help reduce colds and the flu, and may help stall autoimmune diseases. Now, the best way to get our vitamin D in is through obtaining it through sunlight. It's estimated to try to get approximately 10 to 30 minutes 3 times a week to try to get your vitamin D level up. There are very few food sources of vitamin D, so again, getting it through outside and a little bit of sunlight is actually the best way. But it can be found in other foods like fatty fish, like in eggs, cheese, and in mushrooms. The RDA for vitamin D is 400 international units for children up to 12 months, 1 to 18, 600 international units. Adults age 19 to 70, it's 600 international units. And then your needs go up if you are over 70 to 800 international units. Pregnancy and breastfeeding need 600 international units per day. All right, and then here are the international units serving sizes in different foods with vitamin D. Okay, vitamin E is another nutrient of or vitamin of concern when discussing our immune system. It supports the immune system by assisting with T cell production, which is essential for effective immune response. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. So it gets rid of those oxidation reactions that I was discussing earlier, which are harmful for us. Vitamin E helps fight off viruses and bacteria. It increases lymphocytes. It increases immunoglobulin, which are proteins functioning as antibodies. It increases natural killer cell activity, which is a good kind of cell. It gets rid of damaging cells in our body and increases interleukin 2 production, which is a protein that helps regulate our immune system. Vitamin E foods can be found in vegetable oils, nuts, seeds, our green leafy vegetables again, and avocado. The RDA for vitamin E is 15 milligrams a day, but goes up to 19 milligrams a day if breastfeeding. And then here are your servings in milligrams of vitamin E foods. All right, next we have protein. Protein assists the immune system in several ways, including producing antibodies. They act as cytokines, which are chemical messenger proteins. They work as a complement system, which is a group of proteins that work with other cells to defend against invaders and promote healing and cell health. Protein promotes synthesis of glutathione, which is required for a healthy immune system. Glutathione is a compound involved as a coenzyme in these oxidation reduction reactions. So glutathione helps get rid of oxidation in our body as well. Foods that are high in protein include eggs, chicken, lentils, cottage cheese, quinoa, tuna, Greek yogurt, chickpeas, tofu, fish, lean cuts of beef and pork, nuts, seeds, peanut or almond butter or cheese. The protein RDA is at least 0.8 grams per kilograms for most people. However, newer research suggests higher intakes may be needed closer to 1 to 1.2 grams per kilograms. But this depends on your age, your activity status, and your health status. So to figure out exactly how much protein you need, meet with your registered dietitian and they can give you more accurate numbers for what to reach in terms of your protein needs. Here is a list of protein foods with the grams included. All right, the microbiome. This is our gut, basically. So this is referring to our gut health. The microbiome is an internal system of trillions of microorganisms or microbes that live in our bodies, mostly in the intestines. The gut is a major site of immune activity and the production of antimicrobial proteins. The diet plays a large role in determining what kind of microbes or bacteria live in our intestines. A high fiber, plant-rich diet with whole grains and legumes appears to support growth and maintenance of beneficial microbes or bacteria in our gut. A diet containing probiotic and prebiotic foods may be beneficial in improving our immunity. Probiotic foods contain live, helpful bacteria, and prebiotic foods contain fiber and oligosaccharides that feed and maintain healthy colonies of those bacteria. So probiotics are the healthy gut bacteria, and prebiotics help feed the healthy gut bacteria. Probiotic foods include kefir, yogurt with live active cultures, fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, tempeh, kombucha, kimchi, or miso. Prebiotic foods include garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, and whole grains, like we discussed before. Okay, and that kind of summarizes um, the PowerPoint for today and all the different components to consider whenever we're trying to boost our immune system. So thank you so much, and let me know if you guys have any questions.
Okay, it seems like we have one question so far. If anyone else has questions, please type them just that we can ask them and answer them before we leave. So this question, this is a really good question. It says, how can I know if I'm deficient in any of those nutrients like zinc or selenium?
Okay. I think that the best way to do that would be to get a like full lab panel done to determine if you have any micronutrient deficiencies. Some doctors will do a pretty advanced one if you ask for it. Or, you could look for symptoms of being deficient in any one particular micronutrient as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And then also, well, like Savannah is saying, paying attention to your symptoms. Sometimes patients are feeling fatigue or lethargic, and sometimes it can be hard to know, oh, is it coming from a low iron or low vitamin B12 or whatever. But the nice thing about like everything that Savannah was explaining is that one thing, food, like when we're eating like whole foods, healthy foods, the foods are not only high in one nutrient, but many of those nutrients. So just by eating a whole foods diet, you will cover most of those nutrients. So even if you're deficient in B12, if you're eating low fat meat, you're eating spinach, greens, broccoli, cauliflower, then you're getting the iron, and then you're also getting the vitamin B12. So that's the nice thing, that it's a combination. So just by eating a whole foods diet, healthy meals, that you're trying to eat vegetables with every meal or with meals and snacks, your fruits, then you're going to be getting some of those nutrients. And well, we don't have any more questions. So this was a quiet session in that regard, but I'm glad that that one question that we had, it was really good. Thank you everyone for coming. We're going to have this session again at 7 p.m. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. And if you feel like, well, I really learned a lot, but I would like to kind of like slow it down and maybe write things down or take screenshots, then you can also come to that session and take your screenshots, or you can wait until our recording is available. It will probably be available tomorrow. And then you can ask your nurse or your dietitian to send you the link to the recording. And then you can pause the video. You can just write things down, or maybe another idea is when you're writing your grocery list, maybe going through the slides and then kind of like saying, okay, so which foods can I add to make my diet more nutritious? So those are just tips and ideas. But if you decide to join us again at 7, you're welcome. And if not, then we hope to see you here in our next webinar, which is going to be next month in February. You will be receiving invites, so please register. And if there are any topics that you're interested in us discussing, let us know. There's going to be a survey every time when we have a webinar or a support group, there's always a survey at the end, just that you can fill it up and give us some feedback about topics that you're interested in, how we can improve or make it better, and then also what you learned and what you liked about the webinar or the sessions that we're having. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Savannah, for the information. It was very informative. I even learned a couple of things myself. So thanks everyone for joining, and we hope to see you at 7 p.m. or if not, next month. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.